Hey there folks, today we're going to be having a look at my traditional Japanese inspired serving tray and cutting board. Specifically in the video we're going to be having a look at the process of making the dovetailed frame component. Firstly, some thoughts on design. I really like this parquetry style serving tray with the elevated frame. I thought that was a pretty neat little design. And for my major project later in the semester, I was looking to tackle this Japanese style jewellery box and really hone in the skills that feature in that jewellery box. Here we have the selection of timber I collected throughout my garage. We've got a nice bit of merbau, ironbark and maple if I got around to using that. Some really beautiful timbers. Here you can see I got the angle of the dovetail from a previous made box, and then I'm transferring that to my already milled merbau timber. Here's a photo of marking the waist. I also scribed with a blade the shoulder. Here I'm removing majority of the waist with the bandsaw, ensuring a nice accurate and square cut. Here's a photo of that one. And then to really clean up those joints, I'm using a nice sharp chisel, ensuring that I'm taking my time, really being precise here and not going over any of the waist marks, avoiding any tear out. As I said, I scribed the joints beforehand. Here I'm transferring the tail side to the pin boards, marking that waist, and then removing the waist with a bandsaw again. Really important that we're thinking about accuracy and precision during this process. It did take me a fair amount of time. As you can see here, I did all of these, the cleaning up of the joint by hand, opposed to using a dovetail cutter. I really wanted to highlight the through style dovetails because I thought it made a nice contrast in the exterior frame. The dovetail cutter creates a stopped dovetail, and I didn't really think it would be appropriate for this design. You can see me thoughtfully chiseling away all that waste material, and here it is slotted in. That's a nice dry test fit, and here's a video of the test fit. Don't want to force these joints in, just light pressure, and that's fitting really nicely there. Really happy with that. Here's a photo of that one. And then onto sanding. So I started with 80 grit, removing any saw marks or pencil marks, and then worked through the grits all the way to 400 grit. I didn't want to go above 400 grit because I found that the finish I was using didn't penetrate if I went above 400. I taped the shoulder of the joints to avoid having to clean up any glue squeeze out, and I used a little paintbrush to apply PVA glue to the joint surfaces. Nice even thin coat on all surfaces created the best bond. And here I'm putting the last piece of the box together. You can see the tape there, so I didn't have to clean up any glue because I've already sanded those interior faces. That's a really highly attentive detail there. It just shows my quality craftsmanship. I use these little packing blocks to apply even pressure across the width of the grain, so the F clamps could appropriately squeeze the joints together. I took my time throughout this process. Everything I had and needed for the process I set up previously, so I had all these packers ready to go, and then it was pretty smooth sailing whilst I clamped all this together. Because I took my time surfacing all of the timber and really took my time honing in on those joints, everything went really quite smoothly in the glue up. Nothing swelled quickly, and everything went together nice and tightly. I didn't have to check or manipulate the timber in any specific way. Here you can see all the joinery clamped together. Here is the joint after exterior sanding. Put a nice little bevel on the exterior there. This is prior to finishing. Here is the joint. You can see the nice contrast of the end grain and the face grain there. And here's the box completely finished. You can see the cutting board now sits inside. You can see the contrast of all the timbers that I've used, the nice pattern plywood, parquetry inside there. Beautiful. That's a full mark project if ever I've seen one. Thank you, everyone.